So, Aaron Rodgers is obviously having an unbelievable year in 2020. Right now, he leads the NFL in touchdown passes, leads the NFL in passer rating. He's been able to win games and put up great numbers despite Davante Adams missing time due to injury, despite Allen Lazard missing time due to injury. Same thing with Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He's turned Robert Tonyan into one of the better tight ends in all of football. And listen, people, after Davante Adams, who else really is Aaron Rodgers throwing to? Allen Lazard, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Equanimeous St. Brown, Robert Tonyan. Don't get me wrong, they played pretty good this year, but they're not going to be starting caliber players on some other teams' rosters, okay? I don't think Marquez Valdes-Scantling is going to be starting for many more contending teams in the NFL this year, okay? Same thing with Allen Lazard, same thing with St. Brown. You know, these guys are good complementary pieces, but they're not wide receivers or tight ends that defensive coordinators think of and say, oh, man, I got to stop Marquez Valdes-Scantling. I got to stop Robert Tonyan. I got to stop Allen Lazard because they're so scary. They're such threats. I don't think so. Aaron Rodgers very well could win the NFL MVP this year. Right now, it's a two-man race to the finish between him and Patrick Mahomes. We'll see who wins that award. As of today, Aaron Rodgers gets my vote, but there seems to be something different about Aaron Rodgers, you know. A couple of years ago, it was pretty obvious in Green Bay that Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers were sort of an odd fit. It was kind of that way from the jump because one is kind of an average Joe, and the other is elite at their position. Mike McCarthy, right now today, he's an average head coach at best. And Aaron Rodgers, he's been an elite quarterback for the last, 9 to 10 years. He's been that good for the last 9 to 10 years. He's elite. He's excellent. And it's pretty obvious that Mike McCarthy needed Aaron Rodgers more so than Aaron Rodgers needed Mike McCarthy. Think about this, people. Let's say Mike McCarthy gets fired immediately for whatever reason as the Dallas Cowboys head coach right now. Let's say Aaron Rodgers, for whatever reason, right now today, he is cut by the Green Bay Packers. Who's going to be the more sought-after commodity, Mike McCarthy or Aaron Rodgers? There's going to be a ton of teams lined up wanting to get Aaron Rodgers. Mike McCarthy last year, he couldn't get a job when a bunch of head coaches were, getting a bunch of jobs. And based on the way he's looking at Dallas, I don't think a whole lot of people are high on Mike McCarthy in today's NFL, okay? Have you ever had a friend that is dating someone and you think to yourself, man, my friend, he or she, they could do a whole lot better. She's a 6 and he's a 10. Or you think he's a 6 and she's a 10, That's kind of how I thought about Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, he's kind of an average Joe, nothing special. He's got some experience. Meanwhile, Aaron Rodgers, he's a rock star. He's that iPhone 10. He's the iPhone X because you can do so many things with Aaron Rodgers. He can throw on the run. He can run outside the pocket. He can throw the deep ball very well. He's got a strong arm. Aaron Rodgers, he's the complete package, maybe outside of one Patrick Mahomes. And honestly, Aaron Rodgers is having a better year than Patrick Mahomes despite having less around him, okay? And Aaron Rodgers, over time, it was pretty clear that he grew unhappy with Mike McCarthy because Mike McCarthy did not evolve as a play caller. At times, Mike McCarthy became way too lazy. According to some reports, he was thinking about getting massages instead of going to team meetings. And Aaron Rodgers, he's always kind of had a grudge with Mike McCarthy from the jump just because back in 2005, when Aaron Rodgers dropped in that draft, a lot of people thought Aaron Rodgers would go number one overall. Alex Smith went number one overall. And guess who was on the 49ers coaching staff? Guess who was the 49ers offensive coordinator back in 2005? And guess who had a big-time influence in selecting the mighty Alex Smith over that bad man, Aaron Rodgers? It was Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy had a lot to do with the 49ers passing on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, he's always held that grudge that, man, Mike McCarthy didn't want me in 2005, okay? And it's been pretty obvious that since Mike McCarthy has been fired and since Matt LaFleur has arrived in Green Bay, this Packers team is totally different, and we're getting a much more rejuvenated and much more happy and much more fun Aaron Rodgers, okay? First of all, the team's better. Like I said, the team, since Matt LaFleur has taken over, is 23-6 through the first 29 games. It seems like Matt LaFleur has gained Aaron Rodgers. He's gained Aaron Rodgers' respect. He's gained Aaron Rodgers' trust. And Aaron Rodgers, a lot of the time, would audible out of Mike McCarthy's plays just because he basically put a little middle finger to Mike McCarthy and said, hey, man, listen, your play calls stink. I ain't running these plays. I'm just going to throw the ball out of bounds. He did that a lot. He audible out of Mike McCarthy's plays a lot. He did not trust the play call, and he virtually said, I'm going to do my own thing. When it comes to Matt LaFleur, he trusts Matt LaFleur's scheme, and Matt LaFleur's scheme is much more better than what Mike McCarthy was running as he continued to be the Green Bay Packers head coach. Matt LaFleur comes from the Mike Shanahan tree. He learned under Mike Shanahan back in Washington. It's basically a zone run. It's basically a scheme in which there's a lot of zone runs, and it incorporates the West Coast concepts in the passing game, okay? And now you're seeing Aaron Rodgers plus a deadly scheme. That's hard to stop because we all know that Aaron Rodgers is super talented, but when you combine wide receivers running wide open, a bunch of motion, a bunch of creative schemes that gets these players involved, in a much more creative way than what Mike McCarthy was willing to kind of tailor his offense to, when you're just not relying on the talent, when you're actually, scheming these guys open. Man, oh man, Aaron Rodgers, he's the league MVP, and it's not even close, okay? Aaron Rodgers is a lot more loose nowadays. And also, last year, despite Aaron Rodgers getting to the NFC title game, the Green Bay Packers, they decided to draft his replacement, Jordan Love, in a year where Aaron Rodgers goes all the way to the NFC title game, is one game away from the Super Bowl. And you would think Green Bay would say, okay, Aaron Rodgers, let's continue to add to this roster. Let's help you out. Let's get you another wide receiver. Let's maybe help out the defense, because the 49ers, they just ran all over us. They didn't do that. They said, nope, Aaron Rodgers, he might be over the hill. We're worried about his injuries. We're worried about his lack of great play. We're going to draft your replacement. And at that point, Aaron Rodgers basically said, hey, Green Bay Packers organization, screw you. Watch this. I ain't going anywhere. I'm just going to ball out, and I'm going to make you people look stupid, because either way you slice it, right now today, the Green Bay Packers look dumb for drafting Jordan Love over Aaron Rodgers, just because Aaron Rodgers, it looks like he has about 4 to 5 more great seasons left in him. Why would you draft a quarterback? And Jordan Love, again, I'm hopeful for his future. I believe he has a big-time arm. He's a little bit raw, but he has some talent. He cannot beat out Tim Boyle right now. Right now, Jordan Love, the first-round pick the Green Bay Packers trade up to get, he's the third-string quarterback right now. He cannot beat out Tim Boyle. Do you people even know who Tim Boyle is? You probably are just now hearing about Tim Boyle because I mentioned the guy to you. He's that bad of a quarterback. He's that irrelevant, okay? And Aaron Rodgers, here's the thing. He knows the clock is ticking. He knows, man, Green Bay, they're thinking I'm washed up. I'm no more good. And listen, I've only got about 4 to 5, maybe 6 years left of great play. I need to start winning some Super Bowls. I need to get back to the Super Bowl because it's been a decade since I've won one. It's not been my fault more than likely. I said that wrong. It's not been my fault most times. My defense has let me down. My offensive line has not blocked well at times. The coaching staff has let me down. But I see Aaron Rodgers going out his way to make the play to win the game. Okay, a long time ago, Aaron Rodgers, he would put the ball in the hands of his field goal kicker. He would say, I've got you in position, make the field goal. And sometimes the field goal kicker would mess up. What Aaron Rodgers is doing is he's going out his way to leave no doubt that, hey, I'm going to 100% do my part. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The organization is going to have to answer questions as to why we're not winning games. Because last year, Aaron Rodgers, he had a good season in 2019, but not a great season by his lofty standards. For what it's worth, 26 touchdowns to 4 interceptions and 96 pass rating. That's darn good. But we know Aaron Rodgers is better than that. We know he's great. Aaron Rodgers, he's basically saying, hey, I'm going to go out here and look like the league MVP, and I'm going to make my organization look stupid. There's just something different about Aaron Rodgers. He seems motivated. He seems ticked off. He seems like it's him versus the world. And I truly believe that motivation, that added chip on his shoulder is going to propel Aaron Rodgers to winning a second Super Bowl, maybe a third Super Bowl down the road, because Green Bay, they're a very good team right now. I believe Aaron Rodgers is at least going to get another Super Bowl before it's all said and done, because he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's finally found the right head coach for him. He seems happy. He seems rejuvenated. And ultimately, this is a different Aaron Rodgers going forward. And also, Aaron Rodgers' leadership has been off the charts. The way he's handled Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Robert Tonyan, the young wide receivers, him mentoring Jordan Love. It's a different Aaron Rodgers, people. And that's a scary sight for the entire NFL, because Aaron Rodgers, he was already lethal, and despite being 37 years old, it seems like Aaron Rodgers, as time is going on, he's becoming even more lethal as we speak today. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.